In this tutorial, my assistant and I will be teaching you how to do the 5-ball split multiplex reverse cascade pattern. I feel like I'm ordering from Starbucks. This is probably the easiest way to be juggling 5 balls, so if you're interested in going for higher numbers but you don't really have the speed or accuracy necessary to do the 5-ball cascade yet, go for this. The reason it's so easy is because it's very similar to a 3-ball cascade. In fact, the only difference is that every throw involves 2 balls instead of 1, and the second ball is caught back in the same hand, while the first one goes along its normal reverse cascade trajectory. I can show you this by using these two very hard and frightening stage balls, and hopefully not taking my bare feet, and with liberal editing showing you how they should end up back in the same hand they were thrown from. Let's try once more. Now, part of the reason this is so difficult is because that's not the way the pattern naturally goes. Normally this isn't visible because in the actual pattern you tend to catch the ball that comes back to the same hand after the ball that's coming from your other hand. So before you throw again, you have to catch one from your other hand and one back from the same hand that you just threw. And usually the one that's back from the same hand you just threw ends up in front, even though it comes from the back. So that means that all the balls tend to cycle. I'll try to show you that. See how it goes through every possible position? Now what I was doing earlier is instead of catching the second ball in front like I normally do, is you can catch the first ball, kind of tug it here, and then use your remaining fingers to catch it. I was catching it in the back, so I was catching the first ball, rolling it to the front of my hand, and then catching the second ball in the back of my palm, which is a bit more challenging, but allows you to have that interesting separation where the balls that come back to the same hand never actually cross over and just kind of idle on either side of the pattern. The most basic element of this pattern is, of course, the split multiplex throw. So a good way to practice this is, I guess, first of all, just using 2 balls, throw them up, catch one with each hand. So because one is in front, one is in the back, the one in the front of your hand goes up higher because it's thrown faster. You're taking advantage of this in this pattern by kind of making the pattern a little bit angled. The top one ends up going a little bit higher and to the side than the bottom one. So you catch the bottom one, the top one keeps going and ends up a bit more to the left or right of the other ball, allowing for your other hand to catch it. Practice this for both sides. It's pretty easy. Now, of course, you can add another ball. So you're going to throw this one across, then do an outside reverse cascade throw, and catch the back. Then you can take this a step further with 2 balls in each hand. You're going to throw one across from your left hand, along the front preferably, it's probably easier. Then you're going to do your multiplex throw. And before you catch the top ball from the multiplex, you're going to throw one back again from your left hand. So just when both of those balls reach their peaks. You can then throw your 2 balls that you now have in your right hand back across the pattern, like this. So now you've got a continuous pattern. It's just a reverse cascade with one extra awkward ball there that goes back to the same hand. Practice that on both sides. And then, of course, the final step is to have 3 in your right, 2 in your left. You can either start by throwing these front 2, like this, trying to get them to be a full first multiplex throw. I find this challenging because it's really hard to get them to spread that well. Since they're the same distance from your elbow, they tend to go about the same height. And you don't get as nice of a split as you get from this kind of throw. So it might be easier for you just to throw this awkward third one, and then start your pattern by throwing 2 from your left hand, and then continue as normal. But however you get into it, you're basically just doing 2 throws for both sides, constantly. And that is the 5-ball reverse cascade split multiplex pattern.